This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Frankenmuth farming map. But before that, this video is brought to you by Scooter's Workbench and Jimmy Romanowski. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Frankenmuth farming map is an American-style Michigan-based map, and you're going to be able to find the download link down in the description below. This is a standard size map that is based on a real-life area in Michigan. Let me read you a little bit of the description. Welcome to Frankenmuth, Michigan. This map is a Michigan-style farming map with large to small fields and room for big equipment. You will have ditches, trees, and power poles to navigate your equipment around. Map is mostly flat with some small valleys and hills. The actual city of Frankenmuth is not in the map, as it is a farming map, not a tourist map. Based on the Google Earth real location of the family farm and the area around it, there are 3 farms on the map, all of which are customizable. You can keep the sheds or sell them and build your own. You must own the land before you can access and use the sheds. There is multiple productions placed on the map as well. There is traffic on all the roads. Field sizes range from small to large. The map size is standard size, the same as Elm Creek. The map features 100 collectible wooden toys from Elm Creek, 5 Massey Ferguson 1/16 scale tractors, 5 Sugar Beets, and 1 special coin. Numerous other objects and locations to be discovered. Hope you guys enjoy the map from Taylor Farms. Link down in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Pull up the log and watch the map load on in. Now I did load this map up in Farm Manager, and I did notice that the farm was completely set up how you see it here, except the farmhouse was missing and we didn't own any land. The keen-eyed among you may have seen several warnings pop up as it's loading in equipment, but don't worry too much about that. That is because these items are equipped with the guidance steering mod, and I do not have the guidance steering mod enabled in my mod testing folder, so therefore it's coming up with warnings saying that the configuration is not present. But if you load this map up with guidance steering activated, then lots of the machinery at the starting farm will already have guidance steering enabled. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. We'll zoom on out, and you're going to see that this map consists of approximately 41 fields. Take a look at the lands area. You'll see we start out by owning the main farm, which is 3.88 acres in size, $47,000 to buy. We also own the plot of land across the street, 2 acres at $25,000. Field 11, $225,000. Field 12, 37 acres at $454,000, as well as Field 4, 20 acres at $252,000, almost $253,000. There are 2 other farms on the map, one located right here, which is $30,000, and another one located right here, which is $70,000. In addition to that, we have some additional areas that we can purchase. $102,000 located right there. Now, if we take a look here, we cannot buy the unbuyable land, which consists of the main roads. All of the pedestrian houses are rural houses along all the streets, and then the various production points over here to the east. There are 3 plots here that you could buy that is adjacent to the train tracks. You could also kind of expand your production on. $29,640, $29,900, or $26,900, and $30,300 respectively. Let's go ahead and take a look at the various sell points. But first, let's take a look. We have all of the crop types available to us here in Farm Sim 22. If we look at the crop counter, we have the base generic crop counter here on the map. As far as the prices go, we can indeed sell all of the available crops on this particular map, including sugar beet cut, as well as sugarcane. We also have the ability to sell eggs, wool, and milk, wood chips, silage, hay, straw, and grass. And then we move on to the production, and we can indeed sell anything that you can produce within the base game. You can sell here on this particular map. We also have multiple buy points for lime. They're not showing up here, but they are on the map. And then we do have a stone crusher. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting fleet. Start out. Sorry, let's jump in the gun. Done. All right, let's take a look at our equipment here. All of this equipment is well maintained, but it is not new whatsoever. Most of this stuff has been around for quite a while. It does have a fair bit of hours on it, but like I said, it is all well maintained. But some of this really doesn't have too much value left. Do not have any animals at the start. There are also no animal pens pre-placed on the map. Do have contracts available, and we do not own any of the production on the map. This map does include 11 production items built in. When we get to the fly around, we'll talk about those in a little bit more detail. And now, son, when we're going to start looking at our equipment. We start out with the Massey Ferguson 3670, and then we move on to the Case Quadrac 540, John Deere 8RX 410, the John Deere 8RT 410, and the Challenger MT 743. We have the Anthem 6x4 Mac Semi that is paired up with the Wilson Pacesetter trailer. As far as our harvester goes, we have the 3162 Terraflex Draper 45-foot grain header, as well as the Case 4408 8-row corn header. And that is going to be used with the Case Axle Flow 9250 harvester. We have our 1986 pickup truck and our Mahindra Retriever. We have the K12200 Rostel Mash cultivator. We have the Case Speed Tiller 475 disc harrow, the Rapid A 600S seeder. We have the John Deere 1775 NT planter. And then to round it all out, we have the Hardy Commander 4500 Delta Force fertilize sprayer and herbicide sprayer. Wow. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the build mode, because we do have some custom buildings here, and I just want to see if we can place those down on the map. We do indeed have the ability to place those down. Let's go ahead and see. They rotate freely on center. 72 by 150 machine shed for $35,000. Small workshop for $65,000. 3-bay barn. Another machine shed. Nothing there under silos, silo extensions, tools, or farmhouses. We do have a custom farmhouse here. This one has a workshop, or sorry, not a workshop, a wardrobe trigger associated with it, as opposed to this one. As far as production goes, there are no extra production or sell points, greenhouses or orchards, or money generators. All of the animal pens are the base generic animal pens. And all the decorative bits are standard within the game. So let's take a look at the main farm here. We have our farmhouse, our sleep trigger, and then our wardrobe trigger around the side. We have our header, and then we have our Mac Anthem. And something I want to show you is that the map includes custom Michigan license plates. Right there. So we have custom Michigan license plates on anything that requires a license plate. We have our tractors all parked in here nice in a row. Seeder and a planter. Some more of our machinery and our large and in charge harvester. Now, remember I talked about having custom collectibles on the map? Well, one of them is right here. This is a custom Sugar Beet collectible. There we go. We got $10,000 for that particular collectible. And like the description said, there are 5 Sugar Beets, 5 Massey Ferguson 1/16 scale tractors, 1 special coin somewhere around the map, and then the 100 toy collectibles that are over on Elm Creek. We have our water trigger here for the base game silo with dump and fill trigger. Then we have our workshop with a workshop trigger and our pickup truck, again with custom Michigan license plates. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get set up to do the fly around. We're going to fly around the map, talk a little bit more about the map. Then we're going to come back to the shop, grab our own Mahindra, and drive around. Go ahead and get a little bit of altitude, and this is the plot of land that is right across the street from the starting farm that we also own, so we could expand across the street with animal areas, additional sheds, or if we wanted to, we could just plow that up and make it into a field. Now we will have areas around the map where we have utility poles running through the fields. Those utility poles do indeed have collisions on them, so that is something to be aware of. If you hire help, you will have to basically clean up around them because they will drive around those particular items. And let's go ahead and just kind of head on south. We're going to leave that area for the end just because there's so much going on. Now, as I said, the map includes 11 pre-placed production facilities. They include the bakery, carpentry, cereal, dairy, oil, grape, spinnery, grain, sawmill, sugar mill, and the tailor. There are going to be some abilities to put down more of those along the eastern edge of the map, should you so wish. At this point, we're just kind of rotating around, looking off to the north. As you can see, overall, the fields are flat. They are fairly square or rectangular in shape. Occasionally, there are a few with some irregular shapes going on, but overall, they are mostly square or rectangular. So this map is going to get a full point with respect to production being built into the map and or areas set aside for the expansion as such. This map has both. This map includes the ability to sell all in-game crops as well as animal outputs and base game production. So once again, this map is going to score a full point in that regard. Down here in the southwest corner of the map, we have a baseball stadium as well as one of our grain sell points in FGS, Feed and Grain South. I do want to get a little bit about to because this forested area here has some hidden items, if you know what I mean. It might be worth exploring, if you know what I mean. Down in here, you can see there is what looks like a hidden racetrack down there, as well as who knows what else might be down there in a wooden cabin. We have another kind of motorcycle track back here in the woods. Kind of cool little Easter egg for you down here. Now, this is one of the kind of secondary possible farm locations. These buildings do work once you buy the land, but there is no farmhouse here. You will be able to place your own farmhouse if you should wish. And maybe, you know, if you are a fisherman, you may be a little inclined to come down here anyway because this map or this farm has a pond that is well stocked with fishies. Go ahead and move on up the northern side of the map. Side here we have the sawmill. And over here we have a large sell point for our root crops. Let's go ahead and just take a look at this area here. We have sugar plant, and the sugar mill. Take a look at our prices screen, and we'll go up here to sugar beets. And no doubt the sugar plant right here in here is accepting product. We'll tag this one. The top one is the right sugar plant, and the bottom one is the left sugar plant. Then we have the sugar mill right here, ready to take your sugar beets, should you so wish to sell it. Over here, right past field 2, is the other possible player farm. This one has 4 buildings pre-placed. Again, no farmhouse is placed here. These are the utility poles that I said do have collisions. They basically run across the entire top of the map. Here we have another potential player farm. Should you wish to play this in multiplayer, you can have up to 3 kind of player farms pre-ready. You wouldn't have to dig into any fields to allow multiple players to play on the map. We have another cabin in the woods. Might be some interesting things to find in there. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. The main player farm is directly in front of us at this point. But we are going to continue on across the northern side of the map to the eastern edge, where we're going to find pretty much all of the action. Now, with respect to, can the farms be customized? Yes, they can. The main farm, you can sell all of the buildings, including the farmhouse, should you so wish. The silo, the water trigger, and a sort. If you buy the other 2 farm areas, you can also sell those buildings, but you cannot sell them until you buy them. Here we have a train silo, so we have a dump station and a fill pipe. And then around the side, we have the same dump and fill pipe for the train. We can rent a train, and we do have the Goldcrest Valley sell point to then run off the edge of the map and sell our products. Directly ahead of us, we have the 3 kind of empty plots that you could buy to further expand your production empire. Going all the way down here by the train tracks. So the map is going to get a full point score with respect to the farms being customizable. Now, most of the buildings here on the map are from Elm Creek. So they definitely have the new texture technique. We've got some interesting road going on here. That feels like it's kind of an older road. It looks a little bit of low res up front. And then in addition, we have the custom buildings at the various farms. Those, as best I can tell, are not using the new texture technique. They are just flat buildings from FS17 or FS19 that have been brought in. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that they will affect the ultimate outcome of the score. So here we have our cereal mill. We have our grain mill. We have our carpentry shop. Our spinnery. our bakery. The fuel depot. We have another train transfer silo here, where we have a dump and fill point. Then on the other side of the building, we have the dump and fill point for the train, and then we have the rent train icon right here to go ahead and rent the train to send it off to Goldcrest Valley. We have our stone crusher. We have a lime fill point. Then we have a pizzeria sell point. We have the tailor. Then we have our vehicle shop, which we're going to come back to. Our oil mill. Our dairy. We have our animal dealer, located right there. We have a sell point in the fast food restaurant. We have a sell point in the grocery. We have a sell point in the farmer's market. And a nice custom Frankenmuth water tower in Michigan blue, no doubt. Then we have our grape processing facility. We have a sell point here at the bowling alley. And that's going to conclude our aerial tour of the map. So I'm going to go ahead and touch down here. The shop along the side, we have our customized repair, sell, trade trigger. And then we have our shop trigger here at the front of the building, along with some nice wooden toys. Now let's go ahead and just take a look. First off, at the pickup truck, we have our license plate. We have two different styles of license plate. We'll just go ahead and grab our Mahindra. A fairly large area here for our equipment to spawn in at if we should wish to buy a whole fleet of equipment all at once. Went to zoom out, and instead I tabbed over. Now let's go ahead and just do a little drive real quick. Are all of the trigger markers clearly indicated? I feel that they were from the flyover, but we're going to take a closer look at each and every one of them. We have our oil mill. We have our dairy. So we have our interactive icon there. Our dump. And our pallet spawn point indicators. Our fast food restaurant. Excuse me, we're just kind of driving through. We have our grocery. We should have a dump here around back. At the loading docks, indeed we do. We have our bowling alley set up as a sell point. We have our grape processing facility. We have our pallet spawn, our interactive trigger, our dump station. We have our fuel point. Stone crusher. Our train transfer silo. We have a lime station. Pizzeria sell point. Located right here, and then the tailor located right there. Wardrobe trigger or dump trigger interactive icon. and our pallet spawn triggers. So while the textures really do not overly deter from the gameplay aspect, I am going to give this a half of a point with regard to that. Honestly, I wasn't stopping for the toy. I was stopping because visually I didn't see the difference in green between the grass and the junction sign, and I just thought we had white letters just floating. It's like, what? Here we have our bakery. Now, just aesthetically, I feel like the bakery's backwards. I'm not really sure why the bakery's positioned in that direction, but aesthetically it just feels backwards. But at any rate, we have our bakery. So, overall, we're going to give this map a 4.5 out of 5. Again, we get a full point with respect to the production elements. We have 11 production elements built in. We have additional areas to place production elements, should we so wish, without diving into fields and sacrificing farmland. We have the ability to sell and everything that we can grow and produce and our animals can create. So that gets a full point there. We get a full point because our farms are fully customizable. We can sell the pre-placed buildings that are there. Regardless of what play mode we are in, the buildings exist, but we can sell them in all of the play modes. So we're going to get a full point on that regard. We're going to lose a half point with respect to the textures, mostly around the road here. It doesn't look bad when we are driving, but if we get super up close, then it starts to fall apart on inspection a little bit. But again, that is not bad. That's just reflecting against the criterion which we have set up. And also the custom buildings that we can place, they appear to be using the standard FS19 and before flat textures. Here we have those 3 areas that we can buy and further expand. And then all of the interactive triggers seem to be placed appropriately and clearly marked, so the player is not left confused as to where things are going to spawn. So we're going to get a full point on that regard. So like I said, 4.5 points for the Frankenmuth map, a Michigan-based map. I know this will make some American players rather happy to have a Michigan map that they can play on. Here we have the Northern Train Transfer Station. We can then use to put crop in the train and then sell off at Goldcrest Valley, should we so wish. That was our dump. This is our fill if we're using it kind of as a secondary crop silo. We have nice residential houses up running along all of these roads. Again, the utility poles over there, they do have collisions on them. So if you do have hired help, they will be trying to avoid those poles at all costs. If you use Courseplay, what I'm hearing is you may have to paint a little bit of dirt or grass around them so that then Courseplay can pick up if there is a break in the field to use the detect islands area. So you might want to come in here with the little circle tool and just collapsed a little bit of dirt or gravel or grass down here around each pole, and that might help horseplay. That's what I've been hearing from folks. So let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of Frankenmuth, Michigan? Is this a map that you have been playing? The map came out over the weekend, and we're just now getting a chance to get this video into the channel. So for all I know, you may have already been playing the heck out of this map. It's hard to say. And don't forget to go hunt down those 111 collectibles. 100 from Elm Creek, 5 Massey Ferguson replicas, 5 Sugar Beets, and 1 very, very special coin. This is kind of cool area. Up here we have a clearing for the utility poles. And until next time, happy farming.